Yeah, excited for another week of football. We're obviously coming off of a win last weekend. It was really good for us and homecoming game. So now we're back into the schedule, heading out to Texas. I'm going out to Austin to play really good team, one of the best teams in the country. So well coached and then coached by my buddy Sark. So I think looking at them and seeing them on film. We've been able to watch them play throughout the year, but tough, tough task for us. But we should be working on an opportunity for us to play at our best this weekend. But watching them, there's not a lot of weaknesses, and I think the goal is for us to focus on what we can get done, and then get out there and give it our best shot and see what happens. If we can live with the results if we do that. Still feel like we can play better ball. I felt like we've had moments in the game against Texas Tech where we felt like this is what we were used to, maybe forming our identity off of that in all three phases. But also, it wasn't an error-free game, so still some things to work on, some things to improve on. I said this post-game last week on Saturday night that there's still room for improvement. But the thing that I am really thankful for is that we play with high effort, high energy. A lot of that came from the fans, and we're going on the road now, so we're going to have to generate that ourselves and try to do something that a lot of teams can't do, and that goes into a very hostile environment with a fantastic fan base. Then they have a really great team that's you see it on film all the positions, all three phases. Well coached team. I know their coaching staff. A lot of guys on their staff. They do an amazing job, and so. And then, Sark's been so good to me throughout our coaching careers. He's always been a guy that I can always turn to. We keep in touch quite often. Obviously, not going to be keeping in touch right now as we're opponents, but appreciate his friendship and the fact that he isn't a Cougar. He played here, and so it's nice that we were able to keep that friendship. But it's something that he does that I that I really appreciate. Him keeping in touch with me, and especially when his career took off and had this great trajectory, a lot faster than mine did. But he always were able to be kind enough to give me a lot of his time and be able to talk ball. And so it's been really cool. I'm looking forward to seeing him and getting on the field and seeing these teams compete against each other, and really hopeful that this is going to be an opportunity for our team to perform at our best, and that we can generate some momentum from last week, but going into this game and try to find ways to make this a huge positive for us in the long run. I think the prep will be great for us this week. Had a great week of prep last week, and looking forward to keep building and trying to get to that position where we can hit our peak and keep getting better as a team. We saw some flashes of it in the game against Tech, but I think this is something we're going to have to be a little bit more consistent and not be just flashes. We have to keep that and sustain it throughout the game, and looking forward to getting that done. Any questions you guys have?
Okay, we'll go ahead and start with Jared Lloyd and then John Kuhn.
You know us, Kalani. We've always got questions, don't we? I want to talk about the offensive inconsistency that you were just touching on. Talking about flashes, because there were moments that the offense looked really good, and then second half just didn't seem to ever kind of get that to click. What needs to happen to see that happen throughout the four quarters?
Well, I think when you talk about inconsistencies, they're all over the place. There just happen to be a little bit more on the offensive side, but it requires. I think a lot of people want to look at it as a one-person problem or a one-position group problem. It's an 11-man problem, and probably extends even further into that when you're looking at the preparation, the depth that we have, and the guys that we use in rotation. So the execution's got to happen in practice, and then when we can get that execution happening in practice, to put it on the game. We had some brilliant moments of where the guys were just clicking and it looked like we're all on the same page, and then all it takes is one guy not to be right, and we're going against really good teams. So it's not like you can just do whatever you decide, and you're going against air. You got opponents on the other side of it that are really good too, and then if they're doing things right, it makes it even more difficult. And so I think that's where you find some of the inconsistencies. But for us, it's being able to just do it back to back to back and generate momentum so that we can get more points on the board and have success. But I don't think the key is it's not just one big player, one scheme. It's everyone doing it together. It's evident when we watch the film that we can do it and that we have the ability to do it. It's just getting everybody to trust it and to act on what we've seen already in practice. And so that's going to be the goal. That's my job as a head coach, and getting that from our assistants as well. And so we'll see. I feel like we're trending the right way. We're not very patient. I'm not a patient person, so it's got to happen soon. It'd be nice to have it happen this weekend.
Kalani, in terms of just making strides towards that offensive consistency, one area where you made tangible progress on Saturday was the running game. Season high 150 rushing yards. You guys averaged 5 yards per carry. How critical is that component in terms of establishing that consistent offensive identity to just have that running game being productive and working the way you envisioned?
Yeah, I mean that's a big part of us being balanced and being able to do whatever we want on the call sheet. It's really hard when they're not functioning well, and so it's a good sign that our guys are doing things the right way. But it also helps that we're getting some momentum and guys. When you watch the success that happens in the run game, it exactly goes back to what I said earlier, that all 11 guys are doing it the right way. And so if we can keep that consistency, then that should be there for us. And these negative yards that we've had in the past maybe turn into positive yards, even if it's a 1 or 2 yards, or then you rely on some effort, and then next thing you know, you're gaining more and more yards, and that gives you confidence, and then we've just got to keep it rolling. It was nice that we saw some flashes of it. It's good to get Aiden back, but we have capable running backs that we feel like can break the game open for us, and we're very close. It's just that's a cool thing to say, but then you watch Texas on defense, and they got playmakers all over the place. It's one of the best teams I've seen, talent and coached. I mean, they got so much athleticism, speed, and talent. And then they're coached really, really well. You don't see a lot of mistakes from them, or a lot of missed assignments, and that's in all three phases. So I like it because when you watch the film, you know that it gets the guys to be on it a little bit more.
Next, we'll have Mitch Harper and then Jake Hatch.
Kalani, earlier this morning, Sark was talking about things that Coach Edwards, he learned from Coach Edwards that he incorporates into his coaching style. I'm curious for you, with Coach Edwards being so influential in your life, what are things that you picked up from him that you continue to incorporate in your coaching over this program?
Pretty much all of it. I got into coaching because I love the way Lavelle coached me. I love the way that he worked with his staff. It's rough that he's not here with us anymore, but I keep in touch with his family quite often, and his wife Patty's awesome, and so she's been able to be still a mentor to me and the coaches and our wives, and so it's been really cool to have that influence still here. But you see it in everybody that's been coached by Lavelle, from Andy Reid to Sark to Kyle Whittingham to all these great players that were played here at BYU, and we all got into it because I'm sure we had a lot of good coaches along the way, but it's just nice when you have a college experience with Lavelle, and so much of what we do here is exactly what he did for me, and so I'm not a creator of anything, but when I see something that's really nice, I want to keep it going, and I enjoyed my time here at BYU as a player, as a student athlete, and so we're trying to drive that culture that I think can help win games and be a championship culture, and that's what we're trying to get done, and it fits right in line with what a lot of people do. It's not just Lavelle, but Lavelle is the best part of college football is people like him, and you see the influence that he's had in so many people's lives, and not just coaches, but in just there's a bunch of men that are out there that are doing things better because they got to play for a legend like Lavelle, and it's just really cool that a good number of them are coaching football.
When you were a player and student athlete, as you noted, you hosted Sark on his recruiting visit in '95. Can you take us back to what, if you remember much from that visit and what you did to host him?
Sark is all about ball, man, and he saw a really good team. I think the biggest concern from him during that time was if John Walsh was going to come out early for the draft or return for his senior year. And so I think all Sark was waiting for was that moment. I don't want to sit here and act like I did a great job. I mean, with the football at BYU speaks for itself, and so I don't think he came because of a host or because we went and hung out and I don't know what, played ping pong or whatever it was. I just think that he saw the camaraderie, the family atmosphere here, the love that the players had for each other, and he was drawn to it. And I was just a small part of it. But the thing that was really cool is that how it doesn't matter when you play, like me and Tom Homo speak the same language because we were raised in the same culture here. And Tom Wade played way before me, so at Lavelle's funeral services, we're all sitting there talking to each other. A lot of you're looking at these amazing men in life and in football, and you got Steve Young, Jim McMahon, and Andy Reid, all these great people that are in there, and we're talking about Lavelle, and we all assume that we were Lavelle's favorite. And so it's amazing when you have thousands of players that are there that think that they were Lavelle's favorite. And I thought I was his favorite. So that's a really cool thing. And I think for me it's just the environment, the fan base, the football, but the experience is something else. And that's I think Sark will always have those memories of being here, man. He did some wonderful things here as a player, but you see the things that he's doing even after playing, keeping in touch with people and caring about others. That's the best part of Sark that I enjoy, and I've been a person that benefits from that. So his friendship and just his love and care, man, that's something special. And it's nice that he's doing great things in football, and I'm really excited about seeing him again and being out there and seeing our teams compete.
Kalani, I wanted to ask you, just in terms of your last time you guys played a top 10 ranked opponent on the road, it was in 2018 when you guys went to Wisconsin and won. Can you draw on any of that experience as you go into this matchup with the Longhorns?
Yeah, I think for us, we've been in big games before. We've been in tough environments to play. I don't think you need to build it up more than just what we want to get down to, which is the fundamentals and the basics of what we're not doing. The lack of execution, things like that. It's not like you're going to perform better because the stage is bigger and because the team's one of the best in the country, and they have a wonderful brand and a fantastic fan base. That's not it. It's the opportunities, and for me, it just makes the sense of urgency. It pushes it even more. So I don't even have to say much other than let's go and enjoy it. Let's go have some fun with this. But at the same time, the preparation doesn't happen when you just wake up on Saturday morning and get ready to play the game. It happens now. And I like the mindset of our guys and the prep. We know that we have to go into this game with a more sound mindset, and be in a difficult place to play. Not a lot of teams can go in there and get a victory. And what a great opportunity it is for us, to perform at our best and see what happens, man. I want them to embrace it, but to also be thankful that they get this opportunity. And this is something I wish I could be doing as a player. Are you kidding me? You ask Sark and myself if we wish we were playing in this game, of course. And we wish we were in this conference, yes. And so let's build off of the appreciation and gratitude, and let's go do our best.
And also, in 5 of the 7 games you've played this year, you have not gone over 300 total yards on offense. Is there a concern that may catch up with you at some point down the stretch run of the season?
Let's go win the game. I'm not going to sit there and stats can tell you the story and can tell you what you want to get done. I've already kind of made the statements on execution. I think those numbers will go up if we perform better. But I don't want us to go into this game thinking that we had to get a certain amount of yardage to get the victory. What's been really fulfilling is that you don't have to get the yardage, and we can still win. We can find other ways to win. So I don't care what the stats look like. If the scoreboard works out in our favor, great. But I do know that the stats will help us show some deficiencies in places that we can address, and then work at it. I'm very thankful for victories. Disappointed in the defeats, but there's lessons to be learned in all of that, and the stats can tell you the lessons. It makes it a little bit easier for you to see where the weaknesses and deficiencies are, and then you address those. I don't think it's wise to sit there and bypass it all and say, well, who cares? I don't believe in that either. So I get why you're mentioning it, but we're going to give it all the attention it deserves. But we also know that the solutions are the things that will drive what our motivation will be. It won't be fixated on just a one stat that we got to fix and get better. It would be let's do this, and that will be a byproduct of if we do things the right way. Hope that makes sense.
All right, we'll have some more questions from Sean Walker and then Jay Drew.
Yeah, Coach, I was just wondering if we could maybe elaborate a little bit more on your relationship with Coach Sark, and specifically how has your guys' relationship kind of evolved, I guess, since you both got into coaching and through coaching events and that kind of thing? How has it sort of evolved from, the guy who hosted him on his recruiting trip, I guess?
Well, I guess when we got into coaching, he was basically a GA at USC when we were going to conventions and we're nobodies. I mean, I still am a nobody, but we was a GA for Norm at SC, and I was a GA here at BYU, and we've always been in contact with each other. We've always stayed in contact, and that's because Sark cared to do that, And Sark was a great quarterback. I'm just a fullback, and so for him to allow me opportunities to connect with him, and then he had this trajectory in coaching that put him in a great spot where he was, in position. He became a position coach real quickly. I went to FCS. I went to Southern Utah, and he went to the NFL and did a lot of great things. Got position coaching jobs, and was never too big to answer a phone call or even to reach out. He would instigate a lot of the conversations. He would hit me up and communicate with me and see how I'm doing. And he just didn't do this with me. He did this with a lot of people. And so I appreciate him doing that. And every time I saw him, it was just like, he's like, became a head coach and a coordinator way faster than I did. And was the same guy, always the same, friendly, cared about me. And we would feed off each other. He would give me a lot of advice on certain things, especially when it came to the game of football. And then it was really cool that we would have this interaction, this friendship, and I appreciate it. It had nothing to do with me doing it. He was a driving force behind it all, and it definitely has helped me in my coaching career.
Well, I mean, my question is kind of similar to Jake's first question. BYU's had a lot of success against Texas over the years. Also had success, like you said, at going into Wisconsin, a ranked team, and winning. Are you leveraging that at all? Are you bringing that up as you talk to the guys this week, that this has been done before by BYU teams?
Well, I think the guys are smart enough to know that too. I don't think I need to have a long list of reasons why things can be done. I think we have guys that love college football, and so you wouldn't be doing this if you didn't love the game. And so because of it, they watch it, they see it, they know the history. It's always good when I think when you say, hey, do you know that there's a list of things that you can go to? They do, and they bring it up. They help talk about it. I don't need to be the guy that comes up with all the ideas and the reminders. It's nice that the players do it themselves, and that's why I love the leadership on this team. They know a lot of the deficiencies, and when we're talking, coaches speak to them, you can see them nodding their heads because they acknowledge it and they see it. And so we have a good, mature group that loves football, and I love coaching them, man. So we'll need them, and whatever the motivations will be, it's not like I'm the one that has to come up with the ideas to leverage it. For me personally, I want to focus on what we can accomplish and doing it in the short term, knowing that the long term, the vision of it is going to be, days from now by the time we get there Saturday.
But real quickly, how did you come out of the Tech game health-wise? I think I saw John Nelson go off, but I can't think of any other.
I think John's the one that didn't come back. I think everybody else was good, got banged up, but were able to still come back. We'll still evaluate John. So he's not out for this week yet. We'll see. He's a tough kid, man. I think this is a game he wants to be in. He wanted to get back in the game on Saturday night. So this is But as far as season ending, none of that. And then we got some guys that are back and practicing. Whether they're able to play, that's another story. Tal Nalfree's practicing. He's been practicing with us for a week and a half now, and so it's just a matter of they can handle the difficulties of a game and the physical part of it. But I'm trying to think anything else. But anything else is injuries. But I think that's where we're at. Well, it was good to see Aiden. Aiden's been practicing for a little bit. We got clear for him to go through the physical part in the game, and I'm glad he did. Did that help, Jay?
Okay.
Yes, thanks, Coach.
Okay.
Coach, thank you for your time. We're not going to take any more of it. Hope you have a great week.
That's it. Sorry, guys. I see the hands over here. Tough luck. I'm sure it was going to be something really important, like my outfit or something like that. Appreciate you guys. Go Cougs.